Aaron Vargas, you are with Backpocket. That's safe to say?
Right.
What's your title with Backpocket?
Yeah, so managing partner, now partner in our new venture, but
The story of what's happening now in this old Wonder Bread factory, it's always been a very cool story, but it's gotten even cooler in that you from Backpocket and Dave from Singlespeed are working together.
yeah,
And I think when the news broke about this in 2025, I think some of us thought, oh no, is this some sort of hostile takeover? Is this a bigger brewery eating up smaller breweries that we love? That's not the case at all.
yeah, I would say, from a pure paper standpoint, it looks like an acquisition, but it's a true merger.
Right.
The people that have worked hard on the brand of Backpocket for a long period of time, we've always been a family-owned and operated business. And then the key players that have been working on that brand are in this building. They are working on the brand, continue to work on the brand. So, Dave and I, we're partners. It's not Singlespeed taking over brands. It's like we didn't take over Peace Tree. Peace Tree is being Megan, and everything else was part of what we do. That's who we are, and we continue to do that now.
Walk me back to that. When Peace Tree announced that they were going to be ceasing to operate, it broke a lot of hearts because those beers are delicious. Blonde Fatale, Red Rambler. I know I kind of freaked out thinking I better go get as much Blonde Fatale as I can in my beer fridge because I'll never get to see it again. And it wasn't long after we had heard that maybe Peace Tree was going away that you all announced that you had acquired it. You'd bought some of the recipes. Help me understand what happened.
Yeah, so they shut down operations July 2024. I had a conversation with Megan, and Megan was ready to let it run to, right off into the sunset. She'd worked really hard. Only 100% woman-owned craft brewery in the state.
Right.
She'd worked really hard. She was a pioneer in the Iowa craft beer scene. She was a mentor for me as I moved into the craft beer world in Iowa. And I told her, the brands, the sweat equity, everything you've done, can't let it down. And so I think for us, we wanted to take those brands as our own. And Megan also told me that she wouldn't trust it with anybody but us.
Like if I ran Backpocket, and thank goodness I don't. If I ran Backpocket, I would think, okay, Blonde Fatale, Red Rambler, those are good beers. We're going to buy the recipe. We're going to make it. Backpocket, has those beers. Now, that's not what you did. You did the complete opposite.
Everybody knows East Tree for the stubby bottles,
Right.
the hand-drawn artwork by old Des Moines artists.
Right.
And for us, it's not about carrying on as a Backpocket brand and getting more revenue into the building. It's about carrying on a legacy brand that really drove the path for a lot of our other brands.
Right.
They were around since 2009. There's a lot of history, a lot of things that they've done, and we don't want to lose them. That was important to us.
So you have that brewery in Coralville, and that's going great. And then we learned last year that you've pulled up the stakes in Coralville and you've moved to Waterloo, right?
It started we started a brewery collective called Parallel, and it came to when we're in the environment that we're in and the business that we were on, we became sounding boards for each other, and we start to think about innovation and what that looks like. For us, it's can we create the next crazy idea? Well, what is it? Well, no, the next crazy idea is how can we become more efficient? How can we become better as partners? How can we balance everything together?
It seemed to us as fans of Singlespeed and Backpocket like this happened overnight. But it sounds like what you're saying is this was discussions you were having for a long time.
Right, and I wouldn't say 2 years ago this was the end game.
Right.
Over time, we learned that we can be more efficient together, right? And I think we could drive together. We could be stronger together, and I think that's where this came, where we decided to December 19th was our last day. December 18th was our last shipment of beer out of Coralville, and combine operations in here in Waterloo. And I think going forward, we're already seeing dividends in the past couple of weeks of just operating together. We've been working together, but not in this capacity. We're true partners.
3 distinct breweries who have come together, and yet you're still 3 distinct breweries, right?
Right. Yeah.
100%, yeah.
That's got to be quite a tightrope where you've got 3 plates that you're spinning, right? And you're spinning them together, so that makes it a little bit easier, but
So far, so good. So one thing that's worth noting is on the sales side, we've already been working together for almost 2 years.
right.
So the route to market that hasn't changed. The voice going out there and talking about the brands and representing the brands and telling the brand story, that's been united for a while now. It all being made here in this facility, that's new. But also, the head brewer from Backpocket's here now.
Right.
So we still have the same human making the liquid.
What can we expect as guests when we come to this facility?
Yeah, so this building, you know, it's a Wonder Bread factory and it's Wonder Bread first, right? I always think first and foremost that we're a tenant in this building and we need to honor the history of the building, right? Singlespeed's done a great job of doing that, in my opinion, over the last 7-8 years.
Right.
Now we're bringing in a couple other Iowa breweries, Iowa legacy breweries into the space with us. We're going to reference the Taproom as the Taproom at Wonder Bread.
Mm-hmm.
And Singlespeed lives here, Backpocket lives here, Peace Tree lives here. So as a consumer, when you're coming in, still the same great food, still the same great service, more beer offerings. And then our menu's never been static. We're always evolving the menu with the seasons and with the times. We've added the pizzas that Backpocket was famous for down in Coralville. We've added those to the menu right now. Those are the only real adjustments to the tap room.
The Cedar Falls Tap Room is still a thing?
It is.
Very much a thing?
Yeah.
What a great place that is to hear live music, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a great space. And then Backpocket is here, but there are other Backpocket tap rooms still?
Yeah, Johnston will stay operational as is. The Brewed.
So I can get a tip the cow at Backpocket in Dubuque. Right. This is the best news maybe I've ever heard in my life. That might be a bit of an overstatement, but I'm very excited, and rightfully so. You guys coming together to do this is good news for all of us, and the necessity of it is important to consider. And there's going to be more of this in the future with other breweries than less. Is that safe to say? I mean, are you guys kind of ahead of the curve in terms of collaboration and coming together on things, or do you think there's going to be more of this sort of thing going on?
I think for us, it's to reintroduce the new craft drinker. What's the new era of craft beer in Iowa look like? And I think we're going to be there, be a strong place for it. You know, what we created in Backpocket, Peace Tree, and Singlespeed alone isn't what is going to exist from now on, right? But we're going to continue to grow and to innovate, and now we have two heads. So our plan is to create excitement, to continue to grow. We're not just doing this out of necessity, we're doing this out of efficiency and opportunity for the future.
Guys, we're all excited about what's going on here, and the fact that we know we can count on Peace Tree and Backpocket and Singlespeed to be around for a good long time is nothing but good news for all of us.
Keep up the good work.